Jak wiecie, Pete, albo może nie wiecie, to wam powiem, że Pete jest prezydentem Common North America, który został wybrany w zeszłym miesiącu na prezydenta po raz drugi. Second time, right? You're kidding me, yeah. Po raz drugi. Miałem przyjemność być na ich konferencji właśnie ten miesiąc temu. Tam się ponownie spotkaliśmy. Z tego też względu, oczywiście ze względów merytorycznych, ponieważ Pete jest bardzo dobrym fachowcem i gościem technicznym. Przy okazji jest też prezydentem Common North America, dlatego zaprosiłem go do Polski. No i poprosiłem, żeby podzielił się naszymi spostrzeżeniami a propos organizacji ich konferencji. So he will tell you about the Common North America, and I will then, after him, tell what is the reality, because I was the first time attending, right? Okay.
I think I'm wired up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for inviting me to Common Poland, and also thanking me for inviting to this beautiful resort. I've had a great time here, met a lot of very interesting friends, and I look forward to keeping in touch with them in the future. So, my name is Pete Massiello. I'm going to talk about Common North America. Just tell you a little bit about our organization, tell you something about our annual conference. Waldemar is going to show you some things as a first-timer attendee and how he experienced things. So, Okay. Well, that's not. Yeah, I wonder if it's. Because I didn't have the mouse on it. There we go. So Common, like any organization, has a vision, a mission, and just kind of like to talk a little bit about our vision. Our vision as Common North America is to be the recognized leader in the industry for source for advocacy, for networking, and for education. And those are our three pillars that we stand upon. So when you look at our organization, you look down here, we used to have our networking, communication, networking, education, and advocacy. And advocacy, you know, as the Common European Americas Council, we have the Common Americas Advisory Council, you have the Common European Advisory Council. Very similar in function. We represent our users, we bring requirements to IBM. We actually, in 7.1, we brought 63% of our requirements that we brought forth were answered in 7.1. So that's a pretty amazing success rate. And what we do is we give our users the ability to enter requirements. We just put them on a sheet in the front of the paper, in the front of the room. They can take sheets, they can enter them, submit them through the website, they can submit them through here. And as Common members, and Common Poland is a member of Common North America, so you're all members as well. You could submit your requirements. I don't know if Common Europe has the requirements process in place yet, but you can certainly submit them. So that's part of what we do. We're more than just education. And when people talk about Common, they use the term common. And this is going to be kind of hard because I'm going to be saying about it, so I got to make sure it translates correctly. Common is the organization, but many people talk about Common as going to Common, going to a conference. But they're really going to the Common conference. They're not going to Common. And it's just a little bit of a difference, but Common is more than just a two-time annual conference. We have many products that we serve our members with, and we'll talk about some of those as we go forth. But our mission, again, is to be that global organization of power systems, business computing professionals. And we want to serve our community, and we're constantly looking for new products, new ways to deliver and meet the needs and challenges of our members. And the members range from not just the IT people, but we also have the vendor community. That's an important part of Common. I'm going to show you later on some pictures of our expo. And last year in the expo, we had 68 companies exhibiting in the expo. And that's another source of education. It's not just there for people to sell their products, their services, but for people to interact and get the education. We talk a lot about education at Common, and education just doesn't happen in the classroom. Education's about networking. It's about meeting people. You know, I've met a lot of people here, not just in the classroom, but, you know, at dinner, at lunch, after night socials. That's how networking it separates Common from many other conferences that you see. So I think it's multifaceted when we talk about how do we deliver education at Common. We don't just deliver education, but we deliver the facilities to become networked with your peers. And there's a lot of information sharing with your peers that you learn just as much as from the speakers at our sessions. So a little bit about our membership. We think we're the largest community of power systems users in the world. I guess that's kind of, well, I mean, when we say it when we're back in North America, it sounds nicer, but when we say it when we're abroad. But we've been around for 54 years and continuing to grow. Our future is very bright. We have solid financials. We have a solid commitment with our major partner, who's IBM. We work very tight and close together with IBM to produce the events that we actually have throughout the year. So how is Common developed? Well, we're actually built upon, we have a paid staff, and in addition to our paid staff, we have a volunteer organization. And our volunteers are the backbone of Common. It's how we grew up. It's what people enjoy about coming. And I think that's part of the differentiation. You know, when we develop education, it's our volunteers who develop the curriculum. When we're talking about putting on the conference, a lot of it is staff, but a lot of it is volunteer driven, right? So we're understanding the needs of our members and delivering what our members require for their education. Because at the end of the day, right, it's your career, it's your responsibility to learn and grow your education. Because if you don't, IT is one of those fields where, you know, if you stay stagnant in your education, it just passes you by. And what is the best place to get educated about IBM? I mean, that's why you're all here. It's Common. Whether it's Common Poland, Common North America, Common Europe, it doesn't matter. User groups are the lifeblood to your education. And that's why, you know, at any time you have the opportunity to come to a meeting, to go to a virtual conference, whatever it is, you have to take your advantage of that, because you have to take control of your career, and Common gives you that ability to do that. So we've recently changed our volunteer structure because in the States, and I'm sure it's here, people have more and more commitments, and it was getting harder and harder to find people to do long-term volunteer positions. So we've shortened that lifespan a little and made things a little bit more dynamic. So we're not asking people to do tasks for a year or 2-year commitment. We're doing things more as committees and task force. And when the task force expires, those volunteers can volunteer for another committee, or they can not volunteer, depending on what their life is like at the time. So we hope that more dynamic, fluid volunteer structure will help Common as an organization and help our volunteers. So that's what we've done this past year, and we're changing our volunteer structure into that this year. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but we expect to be more nimble as we do it. So our 2014 annual conference just took place a month ago, and we were in Orlando. Orlando's always a great place. You know, the problem with Orlando is, you know, well, the good thing about Orlando, it has Mickey Mouse, right? And everybody loves to come see Mickey Mouse. The problem with Orlando is Mickey Mouse also is an attraction and pulls people away. So we have a lot of people, kind of like this place, right? It's a great location. It's a resort, and we had a lot of people, you know, back end or front end their conference by bringing their families there and coming there. So they got to go on vacation, go to the conference, and that worked out really well. But we had 1,125 attendees this year at our conference. We did 319 sessions and labs, all presented by IBMers and volunteers. And these are really the experts in the industry. These are the people that you go to. They could be, I mean, if you go through that list of speakers, you will see who's who of IBM and a lot of who's who of AIX. make no doubt, we are very centric towards IBM I. We're trying to move more into AIX. We're trying to move more into Linux. But our core group of people is IBM I. You know, that's where we're focused on. So we have nearly 50 sessions on 7.2 and Power 8. You know, the timing of that was like a week later. So it was pretty tough to get those sessions updated. I did a session that I'm going to actually do tomorrow on 7.2, but we were a beta site for 7.2, so I had the ability of working with it for 4 months before the Common Conference. So, but a lot of the IBMers also had access to that. So that's how we were able to do 50 sessions. And it was a great way to get information. Just like you're seeing here today, we had Power 8 sessions here. We had 7.2 sessions this morning with Tim Rowe, right? It's a great place to get education. We had 68 exhibiting companies. So you're going to see a tour of our expo. I'll show you some pictures of that. And 68 vendor companies set up booths, and they actually, and our attendees walk through. We have lunch in the expo, and it gives them a chance to talk. We have some receptions in the expo as well. And people will walk through the expo, talking, interacting, again, gaining additional education. And the Common Conference is 4 full days of education. We have some evening social events, fun networking type events. Again, networking is an important part. You know, networking is not a dirty word. Some people think networking is a bad word, right? Because you're out there looking for a job. You don't necessarily have to be networking for a job. You're networking with your peers to find out what they're doing. Because there's a lot of people who are doing some really cool stuff with their AS400 power system at home. Well, you might as well find out what they're doing because they have a lot to share. And one thing I've noticed, no matter which common event I go to, people are friendly. People will come up, people will talk to you, and I just think that's the IBMI community. It's just fantastic. Friendly people, and everybody will share their stories. So we talk to people a lot, you know, at opening sessions and talk to the new people. About 30% of our attendees every year are first-time attendees. They've never been to a Common Conference. So we do a session in the morning just to introduce them to Common, how to work around it. This year we had a mentoring program. So some of the board, well, all the board received a person. Actually, some of us got 8 people. I thought this was like a list of my baseball team or something when I got 8 people on a list. But these were my mentors, and I kind of called them, explained up Common, you know, how to prepare for it, what to wear, how to work through your personal grid, and that helped them get a better experience in the event that year. So we're going to continue doing that. And we do have a full range of certifications. We'll talk about our 3 certifications that we have. Will be, you're not doing certifications here, are you? But no, but you have them through Common Poland and Common Europe. Yes. Okay. So I'd like to show you a little video of our conference. Not as good as Waldemar's first video. Not as good.
RPG, Java, PHP, it's all here. This is a great opportunity to engage with the community and just reconnect and network with other vendors, with customers, with IBM.
The ability to talk to somebody one-on-one, exchanging ideas, that's where the value of Common comes through. So that's our expo.
Young Eye Professionals is actually an organization that's committed to bringing more young people to the IBMI platform.
It was 8 years ago. I came to my first Common annual conference in the spring. It was in Chicago. It really was a compelling event. It was pretty altered in terms of my perception, my viewpoint, and my understanding of what we can do with technology that we advocate for.
I'm Larry Youngren. I've been involved with Common for over 30 years. Common calls us RIPs, R-I-P, Retired I-Series Professionals, and it's a fun position to have. I come because this is a fascinating intellectual place for a person who's retired and wants to stay involved.
We have young members that come, we have middle-aged members, we have people that have been coming for a long time. We have to understand the needs of each generation, and that's why Common's constantly evolving, changing its product mix, making sure we're meeting the needs of our members.
There really isn't a stronger gathering of educators in the I space and the power system space than Common.
These are the folks who write the webinars. These are the folks who write the magazine articles and the books. These are often the folks who developed the code.
Common provides over 40 different labs. These range from open labs to traditional based labs.
We keep updating our session offerings to make sure we're covering on the latest topics, latest trends from IT strategy to hardcore coding sessions. We offer a good amount of value there for the attendee so that they make sure they can keep up on what's going on in our fast-paced world.
Common has two aspects to its certification program. One professional in nature, the Common Certified Business Computing Professional, and one technical in nature, the Common Certified Application Developer. The benefit is that an individual can demonstrate to their employer and prospective employers that they understand how technology is applied in the business.
Our education is not just education during a session. It's education as I'm going through the X-room. It's education as I'm walking the halls, meeting somebody at a social event at night, and talking, asking them what they do. And then you find out that they have the same problems that you had in your organization, and they were able to solve them with that solution. That one conversation can actually pay for the entire conference.
The networking benefit that's provided by the Common Annual Conference is really second to none. We have sessions during the day, you go and you hear. And then we have events in the evening where we can sit down, we can talk to each other face to face, ask questions, gain those contacts. Sometimes it's over food, sometimes it's over a beverage, sometimes it's just over a piece of paper where you're scribbling. And that networking is really the key difference between a lot of conferences out there and Common.
Vendors actually get a little different networking value than maybe just your average attendee. Even before an expo or after, the vendors can kind of mingle amongst themselves, and sometimes there's new partnerships that are born out of talking to someone who's maybe in an industry that you're not in.
For us as the vendors, it allows us to meet with our customers and to obviously promote our solutions to the marketplace. And it also allows us to see what's going on in the industry, what our competitors are doing, what other vendors are doing. It allows us to form new relationships and to forge stronger relationships with existing customers and partners.
There were no volunteers, there would be no Common. And that is not an overstatement in any way.
When people volunteer, it connects them in a different way to other members. You know, when I open my phone, I have every IBM I user in the community in my phone book. And when I have a problem, I call them, right? And that I got from volunteering.
Our speakers here are not paid experts who come in. These are actual members of the organization, and I like that. I like the fact that we have folks who have a vested interest in what happens here.
I know many of the speakers here at Common, and I will tell you that our stories are very similar. We started out as attendees. It's a very common occurrence. It's quite easy to become a speaker, I think. If you know your topic well and you know your industry well, you really do have the makings to become a great speaker.
We've got system administration people, we've got hardware people from IBM that can tell you why that wire exists. So the breadth of knowledge here is wider than any other conference.
Conference provides a lot of value to speakers because a speaker can actually develop their own personal skills in public speaking, and that gives them a good amount of confidence. They become recognized experts in the industry, and we found that provides a tremendous amount of value.
The things I've learned at Common have helped me in my career, and I volunteer now to give that back to the next generation. And that's what volunteering is all about. Volunteering is giving back.
You'll see that you'll... Sorry, I'm just trying to collect my thoughts. This is harder than it looks.
Am I sounding okay, or am I sounding like, I sounded good? I chuckled at everybody. I don't want to sound like, you should get involved with Common. I got sick when I got here,
It's kind of like being on vacation as well as getting education. I'm not sure that came out right, but...
So,
that's where we're going next. If anybody's interested in coming, talk to Waldek. Maybe he'll make a group event. But that kind of gave you a glimpse of what Waldek did last 3 weeks ago in Orlando, and gave you a glimpse of what Common's all about. So we also have, in addition to our annual conference, we have a fall event. A fall event is a different product. It's meant for a different audience. Instead of being the big annual conference, this is a conference that has 100 to 110 sessions. It's over 2.5 days. It's at a less expensive hotel. So the whole cost structure is less. It's the same sessions, but you're not getting 319 sessions over 4 days. You're getting 110 sessions over 2.5 days. There's no big annual opening session. The expo's a little bit smaller. We don't have 68 vendors with big displays. We have tabletop exhibits. So it's a different product, again, to appeal to a different group of people. Our next one will be October 27th to 29th in Indianapolis, and that will be coming soon. So we're also doing our certifications. Just want to check the time. Our certifications, we've started about 5 years ago now with certifications, and we came out with our Common Computing Business Associate degree or certification. Then we did the professional one, and then 2 years ago we completed the RPG certification. So this allows an attendee and a member or even a non-member to take that certification and then prove to their boss they have the skills in that particular item. Whoops, wrong key. So we also have this year putting out Common Connections. So this is IBM Connections, and what we've done is installed it on one of our power systems, and we're running Connections. And it's a way of all the Common members to connect to one another between conferences. So there'll be wikis, blogs, newsletters out there, chances for people to write their own blogs if they want, whatever they want to do. And we'll be using this internally as well to manage and run the organization. So when we're having meetings, posting meeting notes, posting minutes, posting action items, agenda items, it will all be part of Connections. And we're rolling that out this year. Our first attempt was at the annual conference. So another new product we've come out with is the Business Computing Forum. This is a set of 4 topics right now where we've taped a speaker in these particular topics. We did mobility, cloud, business continuity planning, and security, and these are available to anyone. And in fact, as a member of Common, all of our videos are available to you. Because we have quite a selection, and what we've done over the years is we've tape recorded our sessions during the annual conference, or maybe during a webcast, and you can actually sign on to the website and download those and play those anytime. Some member benefits of Common: we have 2 newsletters. One of them is our digital magazine that comes out about every 2 months, and then we have our e-newsletter. And that's a semi-monthly update that comes out, and again, keeps everybody in tune with what's going on. And this is another great way of starting out in Common. If you're an expert in a topic, we love to have participation, and we get a lot of new writers that way, and there's a lot of smart, intelligent people doing some amazing stuff in the community, and it gives them a chance to write, to learn, to how to educate other people. So it's a good starting spot for people as well. We have our Career Center, which is a job board, and it's the only Power Systems IBM I. It's actually Power Systems. You can go Linux, AIX, IBM I job board. So people actually put jobs out there as well as vendors, and we've had some really good success with it. I was kind of surprised, but I didn't think we'd be able to compete with places like we have like Monster.com. It's a job posting. But this is so specific to IBM I and Power Systems and AIX that we do get a lot of traction on this. So these are our board of directors for this year. You may have saw in the movie I was past president. I was president for 2 years 2 years ago. then served for 2 years as immediate past president, and got elected president at our annual conference. And these are the other people who serve with me on the board of directors. So, you know, Common, we get a lot of work done, but it's not one person getting things done. It's all these people working together to get done what we have as an organization. So, thank you for inviting me. And you're going to...
Yes, I think that very important thing that Pete just said, the Common North America is a mix of paid staff and volunteers. And I think that many things that he just showed us is because of the paid staff. They work very hard, like Ralph, and he's organizing the conferences. They are picking up the place, dates, and so on. So they know the conference in, now we have 2014, so I suppose they know the conference about 2016 or 17 even, right?
And 18.
Yeah, so it's so much ahead, right? But this is their daily job. In Poland, we are only volunteers, so it's a bit different. Maybe we are not, we do not have so big conferences, like 300 and something sessions, right? That's quite impressive. We don't have it in Poland, but yeah, we are not so big country. We do not have 1,000 of attendees or something like that. I think that the main difference, or the things that amazed me a lot, there were two of them. First was the certification, as Pete said, because they've got certification, but it's a lot of hard work for many years. I was talking about that to Randy DeVos, the former president of, actually, immediate past president of Common North America. So the guy who was the president last 2 years, yeah. And it's a lot of work to do. I mean, just to have the certification is not enough. People must be aware of this. You have to build the worth for this certification, because just to get a paper, if nobody knows what it is, it doesn't make any sense, right? So they have spent really a lot of money for this, to do that, and they have built it, and it starts to work right now. And the second thing that we are trying to do this conference, and I hope that we will do it in the future, is the workshops. They had 3 tracks of workshops? 3 tracks, yeah. Open labs, workshops, and so on. But, so, our one, I think, was quite good at the beginning, because 11 persons was signed up for the workshop, so it's not so bad. If you want something like this in the future, just tell us what topics and so on, we will do it. And one of the things that amazed me a lot was, this is the stuff I get during the registration, right? It's a lot of paper, different, okay, I can show you. Może podejść dalej. So there's my badge inside too. So, and for example, they have every day a special newspaper only about what is going on this day on the conference. So it's really amazing. It's really professional, hardworking guys. It's, as far as I know, it's 10 of them, right? The paid staff. 10 persons or something. What? 13, okay. So my first feeling was, it is quite big. I mean, so many people. The second, I was thinking before going there, I was thinking that people are going there because of the vacation. I mean, it's nice to go from Europe to USA, for example, right? Like Florida, like Orlando. It's just fun, right? But when I've been there, I discovered something very interesting, because we were representatives of the other user groups, sister user groups, so we were international guests, and we was invited, we had a special kind of an agenda, not the one that everybody has, but we had a special points on the agenda, and we were invited, for example, to the executive reception. And there's a place when you've got all the most famous IBMers, some speakers and so on. And for example, when we wanted to get Ian German to Poland, and I suppose that Christoph, you was with Greg, right, in US or something. You're dealing with this or not? You in German? Okay, I know. I just know they had to they had to give a lot of effort to do that, right? They have to get some appointment from the secretary, go there, talk to him. But there was a lot of restrictions and so on, right? And when I was on the reception, executive reception, it was like Ian German was standing and drinking a beer. It was like 30 person in there. So I can just go to him and talk to him. It was same with Tim Rowe, a lot of other IBMers, of course, Pete and Ralph. So it's, then I understood it's just good to be there. Because you can solve a lot of problems that you have. You can make a lot of appointments and so on without any restrictions like in normal life. So I will just show you right now a few pictures from there. Where's the slideshow? I don't know how to do the full screen here. Aha, nie ten przewód w ogóle. Aha, ten. Dobra, to... Okay, so that's the hotel place. Nice, isn't it? So, okay, it was really nice and fun place, right? That's one of the pictures, so you can be jealous right now. There's the second one. In Warsaw, there is Hard Rock Cafe, right? I didn't know that the headquarters is over there. And it is. That's opening session. It was huge room, like, I don't know, 7 times like this or something. Huge room. And that's view from the elevator. That's closing session with all those guys. These are the BOD members, right? Yeah, so the names that Pete showed you on the presentation. And this is view from my window from the hotel. So if you like to join them one day, yeah, I would say it's worth it. I mean, a lot of sessions, a lot of speakers, a lot of guys I just know from the internet, and I could meet them and sit with them and talk to them. So it's worth to do it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's go to eat something. That's it.